Hi everyone, my name is Thomas Barnekow and welcome to the session on the Word document title page and metadata. I am the developer of DokuMate, the #1 tool for creating high-quality documents in less time. In this session, I will explain the title page included in all DokuMate Word templates and the document metadata that should sit on the title page to properly manage documents along their lifecycle. I will begin with an introduction to content controls, a standard feature of Microsoft Word introduced in Word 2007. Next, we will talk about how DokuMate uses content controls to display and edit document metadata. So let's have a look at the standard title page that is included in all DokuMate templates. I'll be using a sample document, Schedule A definitions, because that already shows sample metadata on its title page. The title page contains several elements, which I will explain from top to bottom. But before I do that, let's put the document in design mode, because that highlights the elements that I want to explain. To switch to design mode, I'll first click on the Developer tab, which is not shown by default because the normal end user doesn't need it. On the Developer tab, I then click on Design mode to turn it on. That's it. In design mode, we see that the logo and several pieces of text are enclosed in tags, like doc type and number and doc title at the top, or doc ID and first party at the bottom. Those highlighted elements are content controls that act as containers for content such as plain text, pictures, dates, or paragraphs of formatted text. Further, content controls can be bound to XML data contained in so-called custom XML parts, which are embedded in the Word document. Therefore, content controls can be used to display and change document metadata stored in XML format. This can be leveraged in two ways. First, DokuMate can read and update that XML data. This ability is leveraged when creating a document tracker or when using a document tracker to update the document metadata that is displayed on the title page. Second, if you have several data-bound content controls that display the same XML element on the title page and in the headers or footers, you can easily keep those items in sync. In the standard template, the doc type and number and doc title content controls are included on the title page and in the headers. If you change any of those values on the title page, you'll immediately change the corresponding content controls in the headers as well. See how it says Schedule B now? That's very nice and extremely helpful, because you'll never have to edit those headers and footers again once you've set them up correctly. Now let's look at each element or content control in turn. The first element on the title page is a logo, which you can easily change by clicking on the picture, then clicking here, and then using either of the options to get a new picture. This works because the logo is contained in a picture content control. Then, the title page contains the doc type and number and doc title content controls. The doc type and number contains plain text like Schedule A or Exhibit 1, where Schedule and Exhibit would be a document type, and A or 1 would be a document number. Both taken together are what DokuMate calls a document type and number, hence the tag name doc type and number. If a document such as a master services agreement does not have a number, you just leave it out. The doc title contains text like definitions, data processing agreement, service catalog, or statement of work. If a document such as a master services agreement does not have a title, this content control would be empty. The next two elements are the docset type and docset title. Those can be used to provide information on the document set that contains the current document or the parent document to which the current document is attached. For example, the docset type could be request for proposal, as shown here, or master services agreement, service delivery contract, or service package. Like the doc title, the docset title contains the title of the document set or parent document. Our example request for proposal is called IT outsourcing, which is why the docset title says exactly that, IT outsourcing. Now let's scroll down to have a look at the next group of content controls, The first one is a doc ID, which is used to uniquely identify each document within a set of documents, for example, a request for proposal or an agreement between two parties. Each document must have a different doc ID, and ideally the doc IDs are designed to sort the documents in the right order. This example, the doc ID is 01A00, where 01 denotes a set of documents and A00 denotes Schedule A within that set. If we had an attachment A1, for example, its doc ID would be 01A10, which comes after 01A00 in an alphabetical sort order. If the file names of those two documents begin with a doc ID, attachment A1 would come directly after Schedule A, to which it is attached. The next two content controls are the first party and the second party. Those are useful in contracting scenarios where you typically have two parties to an agreement or contract. In an outsourcing context, for example, that first party is the customer who seeks to obtain outsourcing services from a service provider. That service provider is the second party to the agreement. The first party and second party content controls should contain a short name or abbreviation denoting the respective party. In this example, the first party's abbreviation is FP, whereas the second party content control contains a placeholder for the second party's abbreviation. This placeholder must be replaced with an actual second party's abbreviation. This is done when a second party submits this document as part of its response to the first party's request for proposal. The next content control is called docDate, because it contains the date at which the document was last changed. Then we have the doc revision number, which is a version number such as 1.0 or 2.5. Next, we have the doc author, which contains the author of the current revision of this document. While this content control can contain any text, it should match either the first party or the second party when the document is officially issued or submitted. The reason for that is that DokuMate uses the first party, second party, and doc author elements to classify documents as either first party or second party documents, for example, when creating a negotiation tracker. The last data-bound content control on the title page is the doc status, which can be used to track the document status along the document lifecycle. In this example, it says RFP to indicate that this is the version issued as the customer's request for proposal, but it could also say draft, ready for review, response, or final. Finally, when we scroll to the bottom of the page, we see one last content control, which is called title page footer. Other than the previous plain text content controls, this is a rich text content control that can contain multiple paragraphs of formatted text. While the previous plain text content controls were all data-bound, this content control is not data-bound and only used to semantically tag that text. It can be used to keep those footers in sync, for example, if the copyright date or the disclaimer must be changed in all documents. To summarize, the title page contains different kinds of content controls, some containing metadata and some for semantic tagging of content. Data-bound plain text content controls display document metadata and allow you to edit that metadata. The picture content control contains the logo, which can be changed very easily. Finally, a rich text content control contains and semantically tags the title page footer text. This typically contains copyright notices and disclaimers. This concludes our session on the Word document title page and metadata. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next session.